Hey everybody, this is Crash Override 360 is my gamer tag. What we're doing tonight is talking about the cooling tips for the Jasper unit. Right now, I'd like to say if you do own a Jasper unit, then do not upgrade to the Slim. There's not really any benefit besides blowing your money. So if you do have money to blow, go ahead and do it. It's probably not going to benefit from anything else from it. This cooling tip consists of something I found that was pretty interesting myself. The 360 itself will stay cool if you have a Jasper unit, and works pretty well. I was kind of surprised when I did take it apart to see the old heatsink for the GPU back, which I thought was pretty odd. I figured they wouldn't risk it all and just stick with the heat pipe, and I've been watching videos prior to buying the Jasper unit, and it seemed like that they stuck with the GPU heatsink that had the heat pipe. So don't know what happened there, unless people on YouTube were showing Falcon units and didn't really know what they had as far as an Xbox went. So kind of the benefit of the Jasper unit has a 65 nanometer CPU and a 65 nanometer GPU, which means the die size of the chip they shrunk it smaller, so that way it generates less heat. So maybe Microsoft felt to justify putting a smaller same heat sink on there, and justify not putting a copper is another thing I found out. There's no copper on the heat sinks. They just went with the straight aluminum heat sinks, which I guess to a degree is fine. What I did like about the CPU heatsink on just the processor side of things is the heatsink itself. It's not like a dust magnet. It doesn't have tiny little fins that can just get clogged. It has bigger fins along it. So I thought that was pretty good. It is a big hunk of metal, so it's not just a flat piece of copper with a heat pipe. So it may or may not be the same. I'd love to know if anyone's switched back to the copper heatsink and voided their warranty on their Jasper also, and if they found any evidence that it would make it cooler. Another thing about the Jasper unit is the fans. Just the Jasper unit, all the older Xbox, the back fans that exhaust the air are 12 volt fans, but they run at 5 volts. What that's going to do is just inefficient for cooling. It works to a degree. It works enough. The threshold's right there on the Jasper unit with those slower, exhaust fans still remaining, and they're the only fans. There's 2 fans in the whole system. So what you want to do is probably bump up the fans. Now there's one way you can do this without voiding your warranty or doing the 12 volt fan mod on your Xbox. And the reason why you want to do this is like a computer. You don't want to keep it heated, or keep it at the case, not just the chip, but the case at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just not going to perform well. I kind of think of it as a car. If you don't have any water in your radiator, or if you don't have the right mixture of antifreeze and water in your car's not going to perform, or it might fail. So same thing with chips in general. You have too much heat, it's kind of like having a headache with your brain. So what I have found out is with the Jasper unit, it comes with a 150 watt power supply. Now that's great and everything, takes less power, whatever. Microsoft's probably just trying to save money, really, and telling you guys they're trying to be green, but I guess it does help if you do have a 150 watt power supply as opposed to the 203 watt power supply. But what you can do is get the massive power brick that everyone loves and knows. Don't really love it, actually, but in this case I do. If you have an older Xbox and you have a Jasper unit, you had the Red Ring of Death, voided your warranty at one point to do case mod to put lights in it or whatever you wanted to do at the time, and you bought the Jasper unit and you have a 203 watt power brick laying around, you put it to some good use. I bought this one for like $20 from one of my friends that deals in repairing Xboxes for people at the time. So the reason why you want the 203 power supply is you can do this. You can take that old pesky nyko intercooler that steals power from your Xbox, hook it up to your Jasper unit, only requires 150 watts, and put the 203 watt older power brick on there. It is backwards compatible or forward compatible or whatever, up to the point of the Jasper before they came out with the Slim. Now the reason why you want to do that, you have 50 watts of overhead, which is gonna not fluctuate when you put this intercooler on there. So definitely do that. There is other intercoolers that look like the nyko one. So either way, if it steals power from your Xbox, that's fine. It's it's just like putting a bigger power supply on your computer. And I know people bitch about the noise level on their Xboxes. Hey, I don't want it loud, and that's the reason why Microsoft went with fans that run like half the speed, because they knew people would bitch about the heat or the noise and the I guess the heat is another issue within itself. But to me, I'd rather have a cooler system that's gonna perform well under a lot of stress when you're playing those 3D games. If you're playing like Black Ops, playing one of these car racing games that are like 60 frames a second. So that's definitely gonna help with cooling your Xbox. It's not a must. If you don't feel comfortable with it, fine. Now, these intercoolers can and will melt against your Xbox. If you basically this is an intercooler 360. I painted it black a long time ago, but I don't even use it anymore, to be honest with you. But I keep it around because I was using the mod. Put the power brick change, put it some use. But basically, these can melt if you move your Xbox. Don't be a dumbass if you do have one of these. People are dumbasses, and they just, especially like teenagers or someone, not to diss on you teenagers, but if you have an Xbox and you're at your friend's house and you're moving it or something like that, you're going to wiggle the cable back and forth, it's going to arc, it's going to cause a spark, it's going to cause problems. So, the intercooler 360, yeah, it does have problems, but if you don't move it, you should be fine. If you get the intercooler EX, which has metal on the plug-in part and has better secure connections, so it lessens the chance of arcing, do that and then do this power brick mod. You'll probably be a lot happier to have fans that run at full speed at 12 volts, full whatever, however many RPM it is. The RPMs is what counts cooling down a system. And you probably want to do that with those heat sinks that are on the Jasper chip, because those heat sinks are the old ones. Besides the CPUs, I think actually they digress the heat sink. And I'm the thing about an Xbox does not have you can bring up the temperature of your Xbox. Now, if you do have a Slim, it's definitely a good Xbox. They actually designed it like a computer motherboard. If you're, just like your computer, if it gets too hot, it will shut down before you actually fry your chip away, and you can set that in your BIOS. Well, Microsoft kind of smartened up, and they went ahead and changed it to where if your Xbox gets hot above a certain threshold, like 60 degrees Celsius or something like that, then it'll go ahead and just shut down on the Slim. I'm curious if my Jasper would do that, because I wouldn't even worry about putting coolers on it really, but I think they do kind of help, and I don't really move my Xbox or go to LAN parties or anything like that. So, you know, this is a little something that I haven't seen mentioned on YouTube, and I'm hoping, you know, you can use this mod and, you know, tell me if it works for you or not, or if you're nervous about it. Comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.